And we are live. All right, let me do a mic check. Making sure I can hear myself. Today we'll be in for about an hour or less, and then we'll see what happened here. So today, let me see what we got going on today. And let's take a look at the economic calendar. Today is Wednesday, December 10th. So we still have delayed report, and then we do have FOMC at 2. Yeah, I figured that's what we have going on. I'm not even going to lie. Everything is going slow. I mean, my phone is going slow, my computer is going slow. So today might be a doozy. So hopefully we do not have the same issues that we had last week, where I had to shut the stream down in the middle of it. Just there were too many things going on. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm just doing a quick check, sound check, making sure I can hear myself. Oh, it looks like I am live. But can I hear myself though? Yeah, it's a little bit delayed, but I can hear myself. Okay, so we do have the economic calendar again. We have the FOMC at 2. There will be quite a bit of wild price action here. Remember, when you have FOMC, you always have to think. That doesn't mean it happens all the time, but you always have to think about a dual trading strategy. So pretty much a dual trading strategy is more like this. See, I can get to it. See, all this stuff still thinking and rendering. No bueno. So dual trading strategy will be more something like this. 2 p.m. will come. It will kind of like rally down, and it'll just drop, 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 and then right at around 2:30, 2:30, and then 2:45, and then you'll get like a reversal between 2:30 and 2:45. You get a reversal, and then it'll just go like this. So this is what I mean by a dual trading strategy. Is just it'll go one way, and then like around 2:30, 2:45. Sometimes you get delayed all the way to 3:15, and then you'll see like a run in the opposite direction. So that's that, and then let's see what else we got going on for the rest of the week. I don't think there's not much. I don't think there's much for the rest of the week. Jobless claim. I believe this one will be coming from ADP, and then there's a lot of Fed talk. I mean, in the 90s, the Feds they never used to talk as much. I don't understand what is the deal of talking. And when they talk, they say a whole lot of nothing. I mean, you get a few nuggets here and there if you have the discerning here to hear and listen to what they are talking about. But for the most part, if you have the wrong, let's just say, mindset, or the wrong conviction about what the Feds are doing, if you think the Feds don't know what they're doing, if you think the Fed is reactive, then the talk will not mean much to you. But if you know that the Feds they are planning stuff ahead, they are 10 step ahead and 20 years ahead, and then nothing is by hazard, they are not reacting, then you'll understand like okay, some of the stuff that they're talking about. For example, the Fed will be talking about inflation over time. So it goes over most people's head. So pretty much what it means is just they don't measure inflation the way you think it should. Like they want most people thinking inflation, they want to bring it down to 2%, and then once it at 2%, then the Fed will be happy, and then the Fed will be achieving their goal. No, they talking about inflation average over time. So meaning that I don't know what the year they select, but let's just say over a 10-year span, the interest rate would be, well, not interest rate, the inflation would be, actually, that the interest rate would be at around, let's just say 8%, okay? And then in 2020, and then in 2022, they'll probably drop it to 2%. So it's average inflation over time. So they are modifying the interest rate in order to target the inflation that they want to be at around 2%, which is why it's kind of conflicting because they're manipulating the interest rate in the hope of getting the inflation to a 2% target. But people hear target, they're thinking that, oh, okay, they want to keep the inflation at 2%. No, it's just over time when you average out 8% here, 6% there, 2% here, 0% interest there, and then when you average it out, it's around 2%. Now that's how they see it. Like if you understand it that way, all this speak that they are doing, it'll start to make sense a little bit. And then with what happened with the beer flu, they wanted to increase the inflation. Yeah, the whole goal is not to bring inflation down. The goal is to keep inflation as elevated as possible, um, because it's just bring more money to the system, and they bring the interest rate down by a lot, like around 2014 and 2019. They bring it as low as possible, and it was not giving them the inflation that they wanted. So what did they do? We had the situation that happened with the beer flu back in 2020, and that gave them the inflation that they needed or they wanted. So I'm kind of like giving you like a drunk history about what the Feds what they're doing, how they're maneuvering things around. They're not reacting. They know pretty much what they're doing. Okay. Usually when I would hear talk, so I would usually listen to Ben Bernanke when you listen to some of those Fed talk way back in the days, and then you looking at what's going on today, you're like, oh, wow. Yeah, he had some policy going on back in 2000. I didn't say 2020, back in 2000s, and then they're saying that one of the worst fears is depression. They don't want depression because that's one of the worst fears. So their goal is to kind of like keep inflation elevated. So yeah, if you wanna kind of go back and start listening to some Fed talk, I may have to share some document with you. I have to look for them. Um, so that's that. When it comes to all this Fed talk, I wanted to give a little spiel on that. So this is where we are right now, as far as Nasdaq is concerned. There's a whole lot of ugly price action that's going on here that I do not like in particular. Let's see. This might be an opportunity for me to go short. Let me take that.
Order submitted.
Let's see if it can retrace higher and get me into the trade. I think I may end up missing it. I don't know. Well, let's see. Let's use this one. Yep, I think I may end up missing it. Huh. Desktop audio. I have to do something about that. Anyway, so why am I stopping all my talking points and then kind of focus on this? It's because, well, when if you're looking at this market structure here, it's for the most part bearish. If you look at on the daily, let me see if I can put a daily chart here. Am I logging into Thinkorswim? I did I? Okay, hold on a second. So if you are looking at the daily, let me take a look at the daily. You'll see, you'll understand. Actually, on the weekly, you'll understand what this big red bar is about. Okay. Four, nine. All right, so this is a daily. Sorry, it looks so squishy. I am multitasking. It's a one-man show. I'm usually a professional, but sometimes, things get in the way. So this is a daily gap, and as you can see, price navigate around it and spend a whole lot of time. See all the back and forth. Like the moment I see those wicks, I know it's trouble. It's trouble areas. It's trouble area here, trouble area here, trouble area right there. Like all these wicks to me, when you take it on the lower time frame, it's troubled areas. There are no if and buts about that. So when I drop to the lower time frame, you'll see what I'm talking about. So this is where this big red gap here. This is what this is about right there. I believe it's the same thing on the weekly. Let me take it up a notch on the weekly. Yeah, I figured that. Yeah, because I remember that was a weekly gap and is also the same gap on the daily as well. So, mm, so if you see such a big gap and literally when you're looking at it, there's literally no trade, there's no bar, there's a very little wick here. So you don't think that would be significant? Oh, absolutely. Yes, this will be significant. So when price will navigate around it, there will be a whole lot of shenanigans, and I anticipated those shenanigans to happen. So when I'm seeing all this price action, I kind of like literally stay away from the market because I know it's trouble areas. You might see a whole lot of screen pop up here at some point. It's because I just signed in to Thinkorswim, and whoo look at that. There you go. So bear with me here. I'm having all this stuff open up. I know some of you maybe wonder how many screen I got. I think I got 3 screens. Okay. I told you there will be a whole lot of screen pop up, so I apologize for that. So this is what I wanted to show you. So when I drop on the lower time frame, like on the 1 minute time frame, and then you'll see this big red, this is what this is about. It is the same gap on the weekly and on the daily. Okay. And then pretty much this is where price been hovering around. Couple secret, a little bit of a secret on this. So when I'm doing my stream, every now and then I'm gonna drop a couple gems, couple secrets. But you may not think they are, but in the long run, if you trade long enough, you'll see. So whenever you're in the lower time frame, and I'm gonna drop to the 1 minute here. Whenever in the lower time frame, let's just say for example, you have a naked chart, you don't know what's going on, and you didn't put those marks in there, those annotations. Whenever you see all this price action, like all back and forth, all this consolidation around like a particular line, just straight up go into your mind, just go on a higher time frame and then try to figure out why is it consolidating there. Like it's usually more than likely on the weekly or the monthly. There's quite a bit of consolidation on that area or a certain particular level. So just know right off the whip, this is probably a consolidation like on a weekly or on a monthly level. Okay, so this is what we get. What day was that? Can't put my finger on it. Hold on a second. Let me open the dollar box. Now, as I open Thinkorswim, things are starting to be a little bit wonky here. Okay, so this is around November 5th. Kind of trade around it, trade lower, and after a trade lower, it kind of got closed and trade around it.
Order
See?
filled.
This is like what I'm talking about. Like you have all this consolidation here, like it's really weird, and then they kind of go up and then go down and then consolidate and then they consolidate over there. Like the moment you see all this consolidation on one like that one line, even if your chart is naked, the first thing you need to do is go up the time frame, go up to the weekly and the monthly, and then you'll see it's either gonna be a gap or it's going to be an open high, low, and close on the weekly, or it will be the middle of a wick. Okay, on the weekly. See again, like it's over on that same line, which is 25. Let me make sure I get it right. 25 509.50. I mean, there's so many times it gets around it, it hovers around it, and like, yeah, you do not want to skip those. Me, I already know when it was going to get there. I already know it was going to do that. Then you occasionally get those small kiss and help aggressively pull away from it. But most of the time, you get that. You'll get all these funny looking price actions, and I'm not a fan of it. I mean, by the way I'm talking, you can tell I don't like it. I like when the market is fluid and flowing, and big handles here, big handles there. I don't like when it's doing all this wonky price action. But hey, it's not about what I want. That's about what the market can offer you. I do not have a whole lot of conviction that price will be going higher, but stranger things have happened, and I may get my first loss for the day.
Order submitted.
So I'm gonna probably drop another gem on this one. Look, oh wow, yeah, I'm kind of checking for sound a little bit, and then yeah, that order submitted come out like way later. Oh my lord. I had the latency at ultra low, so I don't understand why such a delay. Anyway, um, so what's gonna happen here if my stop loss get run out? This is what you call engineered liquidity. So it create all this high here, like it will give you a false hope that there's a lot of resistance here, which I kind of like fell for. It's okay, it happens. And I'm using the same idea of a market structure that is been going lower and that is bearish and that it will continue to go lower, but there's this breaker here, low, high, and a lower low. Okay, so it got into the gap of that bullish breaker here, and it looks like it may end up pulling away and go higher. So what I mean by engineered liquidity, you have all this relative equal highs created, and then it'll just create it, create that one, and then once it goes lower like this, it's gonna punch through really quickly to my stop loss. So me knowing this, what I'm going to do is close out the trade.
Order filled.
Now he may end up going lower one more time. I'm okay with that. But what is it may end up doing here is just gonna, what time is it? Yep, 11:53. Right before lunch, it may get that one pump and then one candle. It's gonna be just one green candle here. Okay, and let me make sure I can draw it out. So at some point, it's probably gonna be a skinnier candle. There you go. Yep, it will be just one big long candle, and then it will come back, use this one as a support, and then keep going higher and higher. Normally here, what usually would happen if it's still bearish, it'll get into one of those low risk sell here, and then keep punching lower. But again, looking at the whole entire structure, it's been punching lower, punch lower, lower, lower. It's tired, man. It's tired of going lower. So maybe this is another chance to clear out those high over here. So this is where we are. I mean, yeah, it punched really low today. Yeah, I wasn't gonna allow the algorithm the opportunity to knock me out. So I knocked myself out a little bit early. And I could be wrong either way, but for sure it's gonna go up from here. Now you may say, okay, so if you know it's gonna go up, why don't you enter? Because it's too high. It's too rich of a premium. It may end up going lower one more time. Okay, and then this is when you start going into your loss, your sunken cost fallacy. Like, okay, and then you get it wrong here. You don't wait for the setup to happen, and then you quickly enter here, and then it's gonna retrace much lower than you can take, and it's gonna take you out. It'll probably not take this low out. If it take out this low out here, then I'm probably gonna sit on my hand, or more than likely it's gonna go lower. So at this point, if it's going to retrace, I'm hoping it will retrace to the level of 25,624. If it goes much lower than that, then I'll probably sit on my hands, or more than likely it'll probably go much lower. Yeah, see that one here? I'm not liking this one. Like it's too sluggish. But again, we have FOMC at 3. Um, the hedge funds, they're not trying to you know, unleash the load prematurely, if you wanna say that. So they're just waiting for 2 p.m. and then they're just gonna wait for the opportunity for all this volatility into the market. That's when they'll participate, and that's probably more than likely what I'll end up doing as well. I'll just wait until 2:45 to 30, um, for a little bit more volatility to come into the market, and and see what I can do. More than likely, if this spins out, if this low right here is not taken out, and we ended up going trading sideways, what may end up happening at 2 p.m. is gonna plunge, is gonna retrace a little bit more, a little bit lower, and then take out all these buy stops that are on top. See, there's a lot of people that have the buy stops right here, and they feel secure about it, which is why I enter short here, because I feel secure that it will go much lower. But apparently, it is not. Okay, and most of these people who have the stop loss here, they're gonna have a pleasant surprise between 1:30 and 2 p.m. They're gonna get knocked out. So if you've been going short, I'll say take a partial, take some, or lower your stop loss. Because there's a high probability it's gonna gun for it. And again, all this here are engineered liquidity. By engineered liquidity meaning it create all these highs, so all everybody have the stop loss here so they can feel secure. That's gonna keep going lower and lower. And because you have the Fed who's about to make the decisions around 2:30 or 3:30, or whatever that time that is, so price is gonna come out and knock all these people out, and then smart money will have access to all these funds. Okay, and you'll probably get out of the loss. So let's see what's been doing here. Yeah, it's about to be noon very soon. Okay. Yep. Did not. I did not get what I thought it would do. Yeah. So now this one right here, this is how you can tell price is being strangled. I mean, why can price move fluidly like it move here? What's the problem? They're holding it. Now, as you get closer and closer to 1 p.m. or 2 p.m., it's just gonna remain tight. And then once you get like around 1:45, and then you mix a whole lot of spike, you're gonna get some price action like this one, a lot of long wicks. Okay. So what did this sucker do? Took out my stop loss, which was there, and then I was gonna retrace lower. I'm surprised he didn't knock out all this on 1 year, but it's saving it for later. Again, engineering liquidity. Now, should I go lower here at this point? I don't trust it. Now, if you ask me what if I were to trade, which more likely direction it will trade, I would say lower for this point. So more than likely, I will try to put like a sell order here.
Order
Let's
submitted.
put it on. It will knock out this stop loss and then go much lower for a retracement. Yeah, because I'm not seeing that big candle move. That I don't see it happening yet. They're saving it for later. All right, so let's check out gold. Let's see MGC. Let's see how gold's been doing. I think it's MGC. Yeah, everything is on the holding pattern. It's not gold. They already changed their contract. Okay, let's take it out to the daily. Yeah, I lost all my annotations. This is why I don't. This is one of the reasons why I don't like NinjaTrader. You have all your records saved, and then now it's all gone. Anyway, um, that 3,800 level that I predicted that will happen, it looks like it's been denied, and I get it. Got all this double all happening. So, I mean, dude, why is it being held here? Goodness, man, like why? And that's another. That's the one other reason why I'm saying like this gold market is highly manipulated. Like, why is it being held in this pattern here? Come on, see, it's a lot of manipulation. Like, what is the point? Let me take it up to weekly. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. Like Nasdaq and all of them is manipulated, but it's nothing like gold. Nothing like it. Look at that. Yep. So use that guy as a support. That's punching higher. Now I don't understand why it's not going much higher than that. And again, just because I'm wrong about the 3,100 level doesn't mean I don't want it to go higher. It's just that when I was looking at the technicals, it seems like it wanted to retrace much lower, but obviously retracing much lower got denied. I also was anticipating that it would get to 4,800 by the end of the year, and that also will be denied as well. So, and maybe it's because of all this report being delayed. That's what's causing all of that. Who knows? All right, let's take it to 60 minutes. Yeah. So that was a daily gap here. Yeah, kept it in a very tight range. Now you see when I put that highlight on the daily, and then when you take it to the much lower level, like how really tight is it? It's really tight. Keep it in a tight range. At this point, if I were to put on a trade, I would go long at this point. Yeah, I would put a limit order at 42.17. Maybe I'll kiss it, go much lower to 42.13 here at that level, and then see if it go much higher from there. That would be like a quick scalp for gold. But yeah, I don't mess with gold. Okay, 60 minutes. So yeah, gold is more like what the market is right now. Holding pattern, constrained, difficult. Then you get a few spike here, a few spike here, a few spike there, and then just holding in the tight range here. Yeah, nothing I'm excited about. Yeah, I think around December 1st, maybe I was a little bit more excited about the market, and maybe before the holidays, before Thanksgiving. Yeah, but like after that, after Thanksgiving, I lost complete interest to trade. And again, guys, just because it's day trading doesn't mean you have to trade every day or daily. I surely don't. Um, yeah, I like this a little bit better. I mean, even then here it was in a holding pattern. See, but at least it's trending here. So let me drop another secret for this. So if you can get to where I want it to go. Yeah, so when it comes to before FOMC, when price is trading in a pattern like this, your best bet, your best way to trade is to trade on the edge. And even then, you may still end up losing. So, like for example, you can go short from this level here, and then you go much lower there. So as you can see, there was a whole lot of short that I've taken. Like right around December 4th, yeah. So it's just you have to trade on the edge. You buy at the bottom and you sell at the top. That's literally how you need to treat that and how you need to trade it. It's best that you go on a much higher time frame, maybe like on the 15 minutes. Like right here, where I'm putting my short at, it's more than likely wrong. So meaning that it was on the 1 minute. Yes, I saw a relative equal high on that 1 minute, but on a higher time frame, where I put my trade was not in a respectable area, meaning that it can go punch into it, go past it, hit my stop loss, and then go lower. Man, nothing gets me mad than that. Like you see where it's going, you have your stops in the right spot, and then it hit it, and then knock you out, then go lower. Oh my lord. Yeah. But so my when I put in my stop loss, I usually allow 20 points. That's usually sometimes why my stop loss get hit a lot. So I risk 20 points to make 50 points. Yeah, I know people may say yeah, it's not. It's like a 1 to 2, probably a little less. But listen, sometimes I move around the limit orders to where I think the market may gravitate to. I usually don't go for 3 to 1 or 1 to 3 because sometimes the market doesn't allow you to do that. You may aim for a ratio of win rate of 1 to 3, but if the market doesn't allow you to have that 1 to 3, I mean, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So in the 1 hour, it'll make more sense for price to come up here, tag me in for a short, and then go much lower. So what time was that one? Oh, that was at noon. That was probably 11 a.m. hour. So 673. Yep, they would have been able to tag this one and go lower. I would still be in the game. It wouldn't tag me out. So let's see under 1 minute what I got wrong here. What just happened? Okay. Yeah, I think so far it seems like things have been pretty stable. I don't see any notifications. Yeah, I think I probably have fixed some of these issues. Let me see. Microphone is on mute. What? I couldn't hear myself still. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so originally I had put my sell stop here, so it would be able to tag me out to go much lower. Did not get there. Yeah, and this what I'm talking about. High resistant liquidity condition. Like it's very difficult to trade this, and the best thing you can do is not to fight it. Just leave it alone. Like for example, normally when I will put my trade, it'll just tag me in for a short here or here. It'll go short and go much lower. Man, guess what it did? It goes short here, and I know it was going to tag me out, so I tag myself out. I will move myself early, and it just went into a consolidation here. I did mention that it was going to retrace to this area and go much higher. Maybe that's what it's gonna end up doing. I don't know. I don't know, but I'm still expecting that big candle here. The problem is I don't know when it's gonna happen. I thought it would have happened before lunchtime, but it did not happen. So I'm assuming this will be delayed. Let me just screen over this one and just put it for 1 p.m. and be done with it. Say 1:30. I know you guys may think that, oh, it's lunch. What's so special about lunch? Yeah, the algorithm still respect lunchtime, and when you come back from lunch, yes, people are not still in the pit and screaming and hollering like the way they used to back in the 90s. But yeah, so the algorithm still respect lunchtime. What is that? Oh, sell
Order
a
canceled.
sell order and a buy order at the same time. Okay. All right. So yeah, anticipate the price to get to this particular area here. Let's see if you can give me a buy order.
Order submitted.
I have a feeling it may punch a little bit lower and tag me in. So what I was saying earlier is that if price go lower than this level here, then they'll probably keep going lower and lower. So now the question remains, why do I have my buy order here? Okay, so this is the area right there. See, it's just very lethargic, very slow, not very exciting at all. And this is one other thing. If you put in big orders, and then you're gonna get wrecked very quickly, and you don't want that. I mean, look at it. It's now the question remains: is it a quick bounce up here to go lower, or is it returning lower to go much higher? I mean, my thing is, it's already been doing all this damage below. Why would you want to go back lower again? Maybe it's a deeper retracement. If it's a much deeper retracement past this, I'm straight. See, see how weak it is, how lazy it is, how they control it. Like it gets close to give it to you, but it doesn't give it to you. It holds it back, and then it trade above and beyond your stop loss. You know what I mean? Like you got real close, and then they deny you. Then it goes up, and then when you punch it in, boom, and then go much lower. Get close to your stop loss. Like it's one of those days. It's very very difficult to trade. Extremely difficult. Now, somebody with probably a lot more experience than I do probably can thrive in this environment, but doesn't negate the fact that you still have to deal with all of this. Okay, maybe you catch one of these big signal here. Yeah, maybe somebody did enter along in this particular area here, which is at 25, 5, 6, 7. That's great. You know what I mean? Um, that's what I'm trying to do right here. Trying to catch a little area to get entered. See, it got real close, but denied me entry. Like, come on. Like, it literally got like a tick. See this? Look here. Wow. Just amazing. What's the low on this one? Yep, 25, 62450. And my order is at 25, 62450. But you'll have to go to 25, 62425 for the trade to happen. Yeah, I'm tired, boss. Yeah. If it wasn't for the notion of me coming live here, I would have just closed the chart and then just come back at 2. Yep, and then it'll get real animated, punch it lower than I anticipated. So, like all the areas for you to enter or exit is just weird. Get on top here and then consolidate. One thing I know for sure, when it comes, the market doesn't top like this. So usually when you have a top like this or another top like this, more likely come back. It will come back and hunt it. I mean, especially we have all these relatively equal highs here. It will definitely come back and hunt it. Now the big problem for me is how much lower it needs to go
Order
in order
filled.
to hunt it. See what I'm talking about? So when you punch it through, it punches very quickly. See? And bam. And it's gonna tuck it right to my stop loss again.
Order submitted.
And for me, those days they are very difficult. I can never get anything right. Which is why I know myself. Usually I would just close out the chart. But since I'm live trading and you guys don't want to just hear me talk, so I had to put on something. I had to put on the trade. And then kind of explain to you why I'm getting it wrong or why I'm getting it right. And I'm letting you know, like, if it goes lower than this one, lower than 25,610, if a whole body paint across that line here, then there's a possibility it's just going to resume lower and lower. And sometimes when you get into a trade, you know the trade is bad when you're looking at it. Usually, what I do is kind of like you edge against it. So what do I mean by that? So I would usually lower my limit orders here. So instead of going at a loss for 2, now I'll go potentially a loss for 1, which is much less than having a 2 contract loss. Now, if you ended up going higher and punch me out, so yeah, I'm gonna have a pretty
Order filled.
buy, then I'll be able to use that 1 contract and ride it higher. But if it goes much lower and tag me out, so it's talking about hedging your bet, mitigating your risk, pretty much. This is what that is. And let's just say price trade higher, much higher here, and then it comes back. I would almost kind of like get into this particular area here, which is a 25,632. But I want to see like a big green candle trade above it first. Yeah. You think coming here and trade is just gonna be a RSI and ESI and then EMA? Nah, it's a lot of work, especially on a time like this. You want to see your conditions that you ask for come into fruition, and all that comes with experience, just like your job. Okay. My thing is, I would want to add another contract, but the only way I'm going to add another contract to go long, I need to see it punch higher, come back, and then enter at 25.632, or enter at 25.624 inside that box pretty much. If I don't get that, then it's all for nil. Now, the way this thing is being set up like right now, yeah, it's not favorable at all. Yeah, any questions so far? Let me see if there are any questions on the chat. Yeah, compared to last time, seeing things seems to be a little bit more stable. Now, the only way I will make up for the losses that I make last time, I will have to trade all the way to my target here. Will it do it? I don't know. Yeah, so right now I'm still not gonna put an order here, an extra contract. I'm just gonna let it ride up because this is not one of those days where you can go full board. This is not one of those days where you can say, yeah, it's gonna get to my target. Nah. Yeah, this is one of those days you trade with one contract or you stay away. You like and then wait until after 2:45 and come back tomorrow, and then you can trade. You see, that's why I did not want to add one more contract. Funny price actions. Because I still don't know if it's trying to go up to go much lower. I need the confirmation that it needs to trade higher and punch these buy stops on top here. And the sad thing about that one is when it's gonna go in that direction, whatever direction it's gonna go, it's gonna go there pretty quickly, and then you're gonna miss it. I'm banking on the direction that is gonna go higher here and clear out those buy stops. But I don't see the evidence and the time frame to be in my favor at this point for it to happen right now. All right, we'll just let it cook, let it simmer, let it brew. let's take a look at the economic calendar. Where's that guy at? No, well, before you get to economic calendar, yeah, look at this mess. And has Nasdaq and S&P look like a mess. Mm, yeah, Dow Jones is thriving and thrilling. Dollar's taking a plunge. And let's see this one. Yeah, volatility is rising again. Hmm. Yeah, this the calm before the storm. This is literally what that is. It's the calm before the storm. Yeah, by the time 2:30 roll around, 2 o'clock roll around, it's gonna be like a damn S show in here. Okay, look at this. Look at this. Strangle. Yeah, I like it when all of a sudden it just punch you out and kind of give you a clear direction of where it needs to go. With that being said, when you have that in mind, you'll be able to calibrate yourself. But when it's nearing around and sticking its time like this, it's not my favorite. My least favorite. Oh man, I'm going through all of that. Where is the economic calendar, man? Well, yep, that seasonal tendencies. Yeah, it's not looking like much fun here. Like one this time of the year, there should have been a retracement on the 8th and the 10th. They actually peaked and going lower. So don't be surprised when we have the Fed's announcement today. Instead of the market going up, you actually go lower and much lower. So it's kind of like seeing a contrarian here, something that is against the trend on 12/8, as opposed to make a like a lower, supposed to go lower like a peak lower. This one make a peak higher. So yeah, I would watch out for that. Yeah, it's kind of a mess. Yeah, just like this one, it's a hot mess. Yeah. Price to get to that level here, that's literally a pipe dream at this point. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna close it. I'm just gonna close that one, close it, and close the stream. I don't have time for that. Yeah, so that's all I got for today. I wish I could say I will come back later on during the Fed's meeting. I will certainly will not. So I will say be careful or watch out there. Um, Anything can happen at this point. But if you were to ask me, all right, so what is the most likely move? Yeah, I would say it's going higher because you have all these buy stops here. The smart money is willing to clean somebody's clock. So you have to think of this as a cannibal. Okay, they want to cannibalize retail traders like myself and you, like you, myself, and I. Okay. So with that being said, if you ask me, it will go much higher. How much of a deeper retracement it's gonna go? I think that should be the retracement for the day, but I could be wrong. Stranger things have happened. With that being said, it's been an hour. I promise I will just be an hour for today. Look out for a couple videos that I will be dropping for the rest of the week. I'm gonna try to come out with a video over the weekend. It will be in reference to turtle soup. I did promise back on October that I will drop a video about turtle soup around mid-December. It's coming close to mid-December, and I will be dropping that video about turtle soup. I will try to provide some examples, and I will try to do a better job with the editing at this point. It's a work in progress. I am building the ship while it's shipping, or I'm building the plane while it's flying. Okay. With that being said, guys, enjoy yourself out there. Be safe. Control your stop loss and focus on your goal and dreams. You guys take care.